I'm back after a few days. Hey, hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to 7 a.m. My name is John Henry Soto. It is June 28th, 2021, and I am back. Now, full disclosure, I hurt my back. Last Sunday, I don't know what I did, but I have a back condition, not severe anymore, but it was pretty bad. Heard it in 2006. And I think I spoke about it on the show before. But anyway, I hurt my back and it was really bad. I had to go to physical therapy, almost had to have surgery, but didn't because I was still young in 2006. Um, and So I went to physical therapy for about 3 years and it was painful. So last Sunday, I did something. I don't know exactly what it was, but I really did a number on my back. And I spent the week trying to survive. Actually, it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I did shows, but it was really with a lot of discomfort and pain, and then it just progressively got worse. And then by Thursday and Friday, I said, you know what, I need to just rest the back because I have a move. Of course, we're moving to Nashville right there, and I'm gonna be having to lift stuff and carry stuff and move things around. So I said I better rest this back and make sure that I'm in tip-top shape. So I took Thursday off, I took Friday off, and Saturday off, and then yesterday I got back at it and I worked. We did a lot of things yesterday. We gave away a ton of things, two bookshelves, a bunch of stuff that we gave away yesterday, which was really, really good. We gave it to the church right down the block here, and they're awesome people. And we were, it was good. So I had a good Sunday, but I am back. And so hope everybody's doing well. I normally don't post out there, hey, I'm hurt. Say a prayer for me. I don't, but yeah, say a prayer for me. That's always nice too. But so anyway, I took a couple of days off just to rest the back. Um, and this show, the 7 a.m. show, will have to come to an end, at least for the time being until I move, because I'm going to be on next week, next the 6th, which I believe it's next Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Monday? I don't know. Whenever the 6th is, um, there all this stuff has to be packed up, including my computer, my desk, my lights, all that stuff has to be packed up and put into the truck that's taking all our stuff to Nashville. So that is next week. So then I won't have a computer to do my show. Now, I do have my tablet, which I've tested out, and I can go on to this platform and possibly do a show. So I'm gonna to attempt to do a show even on the 6th, before the truck comes, because I'm crazy, and see if I can do it. If I'll find a location somewhere. Maybe I'll do it outside and on my front porch. Who knows? But I'll figure out something and keep the show going. And then once I get to Nashville, I don't know how 7 a.m. over there is 6 a.m. And I'm certainly not going to get up at 6 a.m. Or at 5:30 a.m. to get ready for the show. Um, and So I might figure out this may become 8 a.m. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But how's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well out there. We're gonna be talking a little bit about confronting change today, and want to thank everybody. By the way, if you like these morning shows or if you like anything that I do, I am a filmmaker, and I have a lot of stuff on my channel. You can check out on my YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, if you're on Facebook, anywhere. If you're on Facebook, please go to YouTube and like, share, and subscribe to my page. I would appreciate that. And yeah, so confronting change. Now, this is something that a lot of people talk about. It's a very open topic. It's people always say, change is good, and change might be good for some people, and change for others are not. Right? I mean, because we have to always acknowledge everyone's what everyone enjoys. Right? The passion that someone has for something shouldn't diminish the lack of passion that someone has for the same thing. And you shouldn't disrespect someone for anything really, for their belief, for their faith, for their um for how they eat, how they look, how they dress. We shouldn't judge people, right? We shouldn't be made to have to agree with them, right? Forced to agree with them, because that's not okay either. But we certainly don't have to discriminate in any sense, right? So when I say change, I love change. My wife also is likes change. I think she likes it more than I do. She likes, we would have moved somewhere else a long time ago if circumstances were better for us at the time. Um, Things right now are good, so it's a good time for us. But my wife has been to 16 different countries. She was in the Peace Corps. She was a teacher in Kyrgyzstan. She was a teacher in Germany, an au pair. I think she was in Germany. She was a teacher in Mexico. Um, she's taught for 13 years here in America. So she's got a tremendous amount of change. She's been to, she taught in New Jersey in a couple of schools. She taught at colleges. She likes change. She likes consistency when it comes to certain things. But I think that that change is something that's pretty much is easy for her to confront. For me, moving was a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging. I have a lot of roots that I set in New York City, so moving to New Jersey was really difficult. And now I've been in Bayonne for 9 years, and confronting that was really difficult as well. Confronting to move from New Jersey, from Bayonne, New Jersey, especially where I have made a ton of friends and a ton of connections, and just a lot of cool, just a lot of cool. Peeps. So for that was really difficult. It was really difficult. But I decided, you know, what's the greater good? And I think I've talked about this before, where I talk about making decisions based on what's the greater good for those 8 dynamics in our lives, right? Our urges towards survival, right? And those urges towards survival are self, you know, the family unit, groups, mankind, anything that is alive that's not human, like plants, trees, flowers, vegetables, all those things. The physical universe, all the solid things that are on the planet that we live through, the mug that holds my coffee, the coffee. Ah, that's actually tea, not coffee. I stopped drinking coffee for a little bit. All that stuff. My hat. The seventh is the spirit, you as a spiritual being, and eight can be called um, the God dynamic, right? Whatever God means to you, right? And these 8 dynamics align very well. So when you're making certain um, decisions, you make them based on these dynamics, and you say, okay, moving to Nashville, is it going to be good on my first dynamic? Yes, because I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I'm a filmmaker, and that is a very creative town. Yes. Two, is it going to be good for my family? Well, my wife already has a job there in a really, really good school. It's a beautiful community, a lot of trees, a lot of greenery. Sort of rural, but not really. It's 15 minutes away from from the actual downtown Nashville. For my kids, it's going to be fantastic. The schools are really good. Um, and there, we have 2 pools where we're moving to. We have a fitness center, we have a business center, a whole bunch of other things. So for them it's going to be good. Number 3, groups. Well, the groups that I want to belong to, I know my church group is there, so I have that group that I'm going to be part of. There's a film group that I already joined that I'm talking to people. I have musicians that hopefully I'm going to join some musical groups and musical. Not that I'm going to go on tour, or I don't know, maybe, who knows, but I don't resist anything. But that's number three. Number four, mankind. It's going to help us, mankind wise. Everything else, number five is actually, I've been thinking about eating a lot more vegetables lately, more salads, I should say. And so that's number five. It falls into that category because a salad is living organisms that you actually can consume to help your body do well. Physical things, we've gotten rid of so much physical stuff. We've gotten rid of things that we don't use, things that were just in the house that we look at but we don't necessarily utilize too much. So we got rid of a lot of things. It's been wonderful. It's such a cleanse of material things. But we're going to get new material things, right? So I'm planning on getting some new guitars and some other new stuff. So six is good. Number seven, spiritually, I'm definitely going to do stronger spiritually there. I have a church there. I've been doing a lot of spiritual guidance and getting a lot of spiritual guidance in the last couple of months. And I'm very strong and very confident and very secure in my faith. It's not really a faith. I call it a faith sometimes. It's more of a certainty. I don't have faith. I have certainty. And then number eight is God, definitely closer to God. And all these things combined, um, you look and you say, okay, well, oops, out of all those dynamics, it seems like this decision is going to help all those dynamics, right? So I decided. So that's the decision you make. You make them based on those dynamics, right? And I think it just makes life a lot easier when you have some tools that you can look at. So confronting change, when I'm confronting a change, I look at it based on these dynamics. Is it going to help me? Is it going to help my family? Is it going to help the groups that I belong to, and so on? And it creates a much more confident decision. Not every decision you make is going to be exactly on point, right? I mean, we're all going to make mistakes and things are going to happen in life, right? But you can really have a good idea that this is going to be a really good decision based on just what I just talked about. And if you can do that every single time you have a tough decision to make, or at least a challenging one, or one that's going to affect more people other than yourself, I think it's good to be able to have these tools, right? And it's a wonderful way to be able to have confidence when you're making a decision, where you're not just like saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Well, sit down and see, is it going to align with these eight dynamics? If it's going to help all these things, then there's a pretty good chance you should do it. If you look at it and you say, no, it's not going to help these things, then you want to stay away from that, right? It's the same thing, with anybody who does anything that they either regret it later, can go back and be like, did it align with these dynamics, right? I've done that, and then maybe we shouldn't dwell on the past. That's just my own method. I don't suggest that you go do that, but I'm just saying that's what I did. I went and I would take decisions. I was like, man, what did I do? I made some decisions, and what the hell just happened? So let me go look at this. And okay, first dynamic, boom. Second dynamic, third dynamic didn't align. Fifth didn't align, sixth didn't align. So I had some of them that didn't align, which really made the others suffer, right? Because all the dynamics work, in conjunction with one another. So they're kind of like all tied in. If one goes down, they all go down. If one goes up, they all go up, right? So that's how I make my decisions. And so when I'm confronting something, and I think everyone should do this, when you're confronting something that is scary, and it can be, you need a new job, but you've been at this job for a long time. You have security at the job, but you go in there and you're miserable. You're being mistreated. You're not getting paid enough. You're not getting respect. You're tossing and turning at night. You're having trouble sleeping because you don't like this place. Well, you got to make some changes, but it's difficult to make a change when you have such a comfort level, right? And having that safety net beneath you is very, very scary. When you have a safety net, when you know you're not going to be evicted, when you know you're not going to starve, when you know you're not going to, um, not have money to pay for things. You know what I mean? It makes you so comfortable that you're not going to take risks to do something great or to do something challenging because you have that safety net. You know, Pamela and I have had no safety net. My family was not financially stable enough, or if they had it, they would have given it to us. But they couldn't help us when we first got together. Her family didn't give us anything either. So we basically just did it on our own. It was just Pamela and me starting our lives, and we just went on, and we struggled, and we suffered, and we made I made terrible decisions during our early part of our marriage, um and just made bad decisions. I listened to the wrong people. I made some bad investments. I did some pretty dumb things, and I did not use the eight dynamics to align my decisions on, because I was in a different head state back then. Even though I was still doing my religion, Scientology, I did not really, I wasn't doing it, because remember, Scientology is an applied religious philosophy, right? So it's applied. You have to apply it. You can't just go. It's with anything, really, right? When you think about it, right? If you read about a diet, you buy a diet book, and then you decide, I read about it, but I'm not gonna do any of it. Well, then you ain't gonna lose no weight. So it's the same thing with religion, with anything that you're working towards, right? You have to apply the material. When you apply it, you see the tremendous benefits that it has, and how you actually get to the next level, right? And the problems that you have get resolved. As a matter of fact, a lot of the problems don't even come to fruition because you're so well equipped to handle it, that they don't even have it. They don't even happen. So you can't be the adverse effect of something if you know how to handle it very, very well, right? It just flows right off of you, right? And that's the place that you want to be. You want to be in a position where you can confront change, and confront it in a way that it makes others around you feel good, because that's a big challenge too. Because let's just say you have this idea, and you're like, I know that if I do this, it's going to be the best thing in the world. I know that. But not everybody around you might have that same confidence, right? So you need to be able to make them feel just as confident as you are, and not make them feel like you're making a mistake, because that's going to affect one of the dynamics, right? Let's say your family, for instance. If I was forcing my family to go to Nashville because I just wanted to go there, but they really did not want to move, they wanted to stay here, well, that's going to be a really tough situation for them, because our dynamics, the second one is the family unit. It contains the family unit, right? It's also the rearing of children, and the sex, dynamic. It's the dynamic that creates life, right? And that family unit dynamic is going to be affected tremendously if I force them to move somewhere, or if I do something that goes against what they're comfortable with, right? So you have to look at those at that as well. The groups that you belong to, right? If you go into a group and you decide, I'm going to be this way from now on, and I have this idea for this thing, it's going to affect those in the group. You got to make sure that that group is okay with your decisions, right? Now, sometimes you have to take certain stands, and you have to be certain, you have to be tough, and you have to make choices that you believe in, and maybe others won't believe in. So those are different circumstances. You have to look at everything. But if you're making something, you have to still use the eight dynamics and see if they align. It's only eight, right? See if they align with all eight of them, and if they do, then that's the right decision. And you can bring that idea, that concept, to the people that you're making this decision to. So if I was moving my family and they didn't want to go, I would say, look, the schools are better. You can have a better job. You can, these are the facts of life, right? Um, these are the facts of life. So can you, see that, and bring that to their attention, and have the conversation. And sometimes having the conversation is the hardest thing to confront, right? How many times do we have the phone, and we got to call somebody back, and we know that the conversation is not going to be, I don't want to call this person. I really don't want to call this person, right? But you know what you do? You call that person and just suck it up. You just confront it. You do it. um, and that is how you grow in life. That's how you get better in life. That's how you put yourself in situations that you never thought you were going to be in. And this is what's happened to me. I from a very young age, I always decided that I was going to not fight with change, with certain things. My grandmother was more into change. She liked to change apartments mostly, and so we moved a lot. My grandpa definitely did not. He liked to chill. He got comfortable. He get his rocking chair by the window. He's comfortable there. He don't want to be changing, but he got used to it after a while, right? After 50 years of marriage, I guess you get used to it. But that's something that you have to make sure that that people around you are on the same page, that you have the ability to communicate your changes and your ideas and your values in a way that others are going to duplicate it and be able to be on board with you and help you make that change, like Michael Jackson says, right? Make that change, right? And so that's part of the talk that I wanted to give today, because I wanted to make sure that people understood that this moving to Nashville thing is not an easy thing for us. You know what I mean? We had everything pretty much here. Pamela had a good job, and people are like, you're leaving a job where you're doing well in, that pays well, to go to another state. People would think that's crazy. Well, we think you're crazy. No. Um, but no, they have points too. You know what I mean? But obviously, we're confident in our decision. We're happy with our decision. We're actually super excited to get started and to see what it's going to be like. It's a new adventure. Um, but from a very young age, I remember just taking risks on things and just saying, like, I'm going to check this out. This seems like interesting. Like music and film and religion and all these things that I wanted to kind of investigate and see, is this something that's going to work for me? Is it? And as soon as I see that, it actually makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I have like it increases my confidence tremendously. As soon as I'm able to see that, then it's something that I really can't I have to do. I have to do, and that's how I've been doing it, and it's been working for me and for my family, and we're blessed to be able to have the opportunity to do this, because a lot of people would like to move and don't and can't. They don't have either the financial opportunities, or they just don't have, maybe their family doesn't want them to move or something, which happens a lot, especially in a Puerto Rican family. It's very difficult for them to leave family. Family is like everything, and I love my family. But I have family now living in Florida and North Carolina and some other places. So we've been branching out. And I was talking about this. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Um, but I was having a conversation with my cousin about this, about being the link to the family unit, to change the family, uh, the direction of the family, of how it's going, the way every family member kind of, or every family generation influences the next generation, but sometimes they influence them to do the same exact thing and stays the same, right? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow anyway. I'll break that down. But anyway, thank you for listening, everybody, this morning. I appreciate y'all. I'm glad to be back. My back is feeling good. I'm glad to be back, and my back is feeling good. I'm glad to be back, and my back is feeling good. So I'm actually excited to be back, and I miss you all. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Take care of yourself. Do the things that you love. I'm going to start again. Make today great. Do the things that you love. Take care of yourselves. And as always, peace.